Yeah.
So, Vedang, how would you describe student life in the University of Bristol? As in, for people, for students studying in India, especially high schoolers who are dreaming of going abroad for their undergraduation, uh, how is it like out there?
So it's been surreal, I'd say, because and maybe the experience that I had might not be the experience that everyone has, in the fact that I actually lived in the UK for 2 or 3 years before I started my undergrad. So the cultural divide, it can be daunting for some, but people in general are really, really receptive, and people, if you ask for help, you get it. It's just that you have to ask for it in the first place. You have to put yourself out there.
Right.
And I think that'll be true for everywhere in the world, that you have to put yourself out there and people just respond. It's like a give and take thing, I think.
Yeah.
But in general, the student life, the first 2 years was just incredible. It's you just have to put yourself out there, and without going into too many details, you just you enjoy life, really. You just enjoy life as much as you can. You work hard, and you just enjoy life, and then the work you're doing, it actually means something in the end,
True.
if you actually have
That
that
matters a
outlet
lot.
as well. So there's so many different societies that you can join. So I myself
Right.
joined the swimming society. I'm planning on joining the skydiving society this year. So every year I've
Wow.
made it a point.
That's wonderful.
So every year I've made it a point to join a different society, to try and get to meet new people. So the first year I joined the swimming society. The second year I joined the ice skating society.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I couldn't ice skate at all. And by the end of the year, I could just about manage to not fall. And and people just, if you want to ice skate and you've never done it before, or if you've never swam and you want to do it, there's people of all abilities who you can join. So now me, I've never skydived in my life. So, and I just asked the guy if I need to do anything, or do I need to have skydived before, and he was like, no, just come. There's a weekend course, you pay £200, and after 2 days of training, we're going to throw you out of an aeroplane. I was like, wow,
Whoa.
okay. Right. Right.
Wow.
That's a bit off the deep end, but okay.
Interesting.
But that's student life.
I mean that's nice.
You can have never done anything before. And so I know people who've gone scuba diving. So there's scuba diving society, there's a snorkeling society.
Oh.
People go wild swimming. So people just go swimming in lakes, and they teach you how to swim in lakes, because it's completely different from how you'd swim in a pool, because there's
Yeah.
currents and everything. It's just so different. It's
That's
so
the
different.
thing. I mean, between Indian college societies, you have the
Wow.
drama society, you have singing society, you have dance society, and I pretty much that's most of it. And out there, you have so many
That's it.
versatile things
Yeah.
that you can do. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
it's amazing.
So how about you guys? Are you guys planning on pursuing any like postgraduate studies, or are you guys
Oh,
into
okay.
research? You guys are into research, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, postgraduate abroad was
But
an option, at least for me. But I mean,
yeah.
it was the emphasis on the was. I mean, Corona spoiled it all. So yeah, we still got to see what to do.
So are you guys planning on
Yeah.
staying in zoology then, or are you guys going to branch out a bit? Because with zoology, you can pretty much do any wet research, really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
That's the thing.
incredible.
So probably branch out. I mean, not a lot, but I think our interests might because I know what these two are interested in. They're more towards biology rather than trying to discover or get to know an interdisciplinary approach more. I think maybe probably trying bioinformatics or biostatistics as a probably a diploma course might be one of the if I were to branch out, I'd probably go for that, just to get to know a little bit about what you do in bioinformatics, like how do you, because honestly in our course we don't have much programming
Mathematics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
or
math.
it's
programming.
Yeah,
very conventional
Mhm.
zoology
Yeah.
yeah,
types.
it's very conventional. So just to get an idea of how one needs to, what one needs to do when they say you got a program on that you got to use that application and try out programming on that computer. So essentially get a basic idea of what they expect from us. Probably try out bioinformatics or biostatistics. Let's see.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool. No, that's really cool.
yeah. But then we don't have um, as Anushri said, we don't have different kind of societies or clubs. We just have dance club and drama
Drama
club
club,
and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
which
when yeah, so like yeah,
is also very niche. I mean, essentially, the science people.
Yamuna, you're muted.
yeah.
No, I muted right
Oh
now.
yeah, she
Was I
muted
audible
herself.
before?
Uh, yeah, you
Was I
were, I
audible
think,
before?
Yeah.
cut
Go
off.
go ahead.
Anyways, yeah, continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll be asking the next question, and so yeah, essentially, if one of our viewers wants to pursue a degree in mathematical biology or applied mathematics, so for one to develop even this bit in interest in such a interesting topic, they kind of need to get familiar with it first, as in they, let's say if I want to pursue a course in mathematical biology, and if I'm talking to you, what would you suggest? Like, are there any books, are there any online courses, or maybe someone you kind of follow during the start, just to, I mean, say online lectures or YouTube videos, sort of that sort of a thing that you followed, or maybe if you know of any courses or universities which offer a course in applied mathematics, essentially mathematical biology in India or even abroad. Would you tell us more about it?
I would say mathematical biology, it's quite maths heavy. So you'd think there'd be like an equal weightage, but it is quite computationally, quite mathematically heavy. So one of the first books I read on the subject was Patterns in Nature by Ian Stewart, who's a professor here at Warwick University in the UK. And it's just written so lucidly, and you don't need to have any prior mathematical knowledge to try and read it. He explains all the maths you need, and he kind of ties that through with stuff you see in nature. So that's quite a good start if you want to get interested into it. For the maths side of it, I would recommend, so there are online courses. There are first year maths courses that MIT OCW does. So MIT OCW is a YouTube channel by the professors at MIT. So that's Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States. And it's essentially a lecture that's pre-recorded, and there's students there who ask, it's like a lecture that you can view from home in your own time. And I'd say to get to grips with the basic mathematics required, you might want to sort of look through that channel, just pick out a few bits. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to say which videos to watch, but that's quite a good channel to start off with.
Right, right.
You
Great,
might have
great,
heard
great.
Numberphile and Vsauce, so those are quite
Yeah,
interesting ones
Yeah,
Vsauce.
Vsauce. Yeah.
to try and
Vsauce,
get
yes.
into it. But
Yeah.
they're not really mathematically heavy, but it's kind of like if you want
Yeah.
to get interested in you know nature, physics, sciences, that's always a good
Yeah.
one to go for. But
Yeah.
MIT OCW
Right.
for sure.
Right.
Like it's quite hardcore. Taught by actual professors who know their subject inside out, and the courses, they're just so well designed. So go for that, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to start somewhere, right? So that
Definitely.
seems like a good start. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So even though we talked about what we'd like to do after bachelor's or what we'd like to do for masters, so probably bachelor's is the time when you have to decide that do you want to go ahead and pursue research, or do you want to go and look out for jobs, or probably complete your master's degree and then go and look out for jobs. So after talking to you, we are definitely sure that you'll be pursuing research, although even after knowing it, um, what would you plan, what are your future steps, like what are your plans after graduation? Say if you mentioned that there's a integrated master's degree, so would you go for that, or would you try and apply somewhere else?
So currently I'm on the integrated master's program. So this is my, if I was just doing the bachelor's, this would be my last year. But I'm
Right.
staying on to do the masters. So I'll be here in Bristol for 2 more years. And honestly,
Right.
uh, the stuff I want to do after, I'm about 95% sure that I really want to stay in research. But even that it's such a vast field. Mathematical biology, it's not niche at
Yeah.
all. You can look into biophysics, which is still part of mathematical biology.
Yeah.
You can look at complex systems,
Yeah.
complex networks, systems biology. It
Yeah.
all
Yeah. Yeah.
comes under mathematical
Yeah.
biology. It's a question I've been asked by my own parents, actually, what I want to do later as well. It's a tough one to answer, but at the moment, I know that I want to stay in research, but then what kind of research? So that's why I've been doing these external projects with other, so the one at Imperial, I've just finished, and I'm planning
Right.
on continuing on a research internship, again remotely at the University of Queensland in Australia, working with a neuroscientist there, and we'll be working on a zebrafish neuronal network project there. I it's essentially a image analysis of zebrafish brains, and then we try and track those fish in tanks to find out what their preferences and how, where they go and how it influences their behavior. So can you tempt them with food, or stuff like that, and how you can accurately track them. That's kind of the overall
Right.
basis of my project. But then that's completely different to what I did at Imperial, which was looking at networks. This isn't,
Right.
there's no wet research associated with my work at Imperial. It was all data that was curated by biologists. They put it up on the internet, and we then analyzed that. So we still had to understand, okay, can we trust this data? That's the first question you ever ask. And then, it kind of stems from there. So two completely different projects, and I'm still not sure which kind of side I'm leaning on. So in the next few years, I'm planning on doing other internships across different, fields, different areas of mathematical biology. So the next one I'm thinking about, so it's quite tentative. I haven't actually really thought about it much, but I'm hoping to look into how diseases spread and how you can construct mathematical models to understand how diseases spread, which is quite pertinent in today's time, really, with COVID and
Yeah.
that. And there's a lot
Very.
of researchers working on, how diseases spread at the moment. Researchers who's it's not even their speciality, but it's just an easy way to publish papers at the moment. And so they've just gone on
Right,
to that.
right.
So there's a lot of work happening there.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. And if you can create mathematical models, accurate mathematical models, maybe we can stop diseases in their
Yeah.
tracks. So that's
Right.
something I am thinking about pursuing in the near future. It's just, I think you just have to sort of like know which sub areas there are in the subject you want to do, and then try and get as much work experience as possible. before you make a decision, because there's nothing worse than you applying for a program and then finding out you absolutely hate it. There's nothing worse than that. And I want to be 100% sure that whenever I go into something, I love it 100%. I'm committed, because it's not easy. Doing a PhD, it is not easy at all. It's 3-4 years of your life that you're actually putting up. And if you aren't 100% invested in it, it is 3 or 4 years of your life down the drain, really. And I don't want to do that. So that's kind of the game plan at the moment, if you can call it a game plan. I'm just winging it at the moment, to be honest with you.
This is great. Okay, so here we come to an end of our video cast, and thank you so much, Vedang. Actually, you have left us much more motivated and inspired than we were before we started this video cast. And as someone who's personally very interested in systems biology, I am definitely going to look more into it, and I'm sure Anushri and Uja will as well, because Anushri is deeply interested in neurosciences. So thank you for joining us today and sharing such personal experiences and letting us know how your research has been up till now. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
For sure.
All of this.
Thanks so much for inviting me as well. This has been incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Yeah.